My name is Jay Sugarman, and I want to welcome you to Innovation Showcase. The main purpose of this ongoing series is to inform viewers about exciting innovations and creative individuals across the fields of business, science, technology, education, and the arts. Today via Zoom, we're fortunate to have as our guest Bil Thibadeau, Issa O'Neill, Colleen McFarland, and Donna Esolen, all of whom are associated with Gateway Arts, a studio art center, gallery, and retail space operated under Vinfen. Its mission is to support and promote adult artists with intellectual, developmental, or other disabilities by giving them access to professional resources, workspace, and a platform to showcase their work. Bill serves as the artistic director. Issa is the studio art manager, and Colleen and Donna are two of the current artists at Gateway Arts. During the program, we're finding out why and how Gateway Arts came about and how it's grown, developed, and operates today. We'll hear about the wide range of opportunities it provides participants, and Colleen and Donna will share some of their experiences, writing, and artwork. In the process, we'll come to better understand and appreciate Gateway Arts' overall mission and the extremely positive impact it's had on both artists and the greater Boston community since 1973. Let's start by meeting our guest. Welcome. So delighted you're all able to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll be here.
I've been a long time admirer of Gateway Arts, both the staff and the artist, eager to hear about things going on today and have you inform the community. To that end, Bill, would you please start by sharing a little bit about the history and mission and how Gateway Arts first came about, the inspiration, and where it is today?
Gateway Arts began in 1973 when the state mandate to close state institutions occurred. Gateway started with 8 artists in a basement space in Boston, Massachusetts, and they learned how to cook and do math and reading, but art has always been part of Gateway. Weaving and ceramics, and of course painting and drawing began there. In 1980, Gateway moved to Brookline Village and stayed in a great space there and expanded to take over most of the building there. We recently moved now to our new space on Station Street, and we started working on June 30th this year.
We're fortunate to have some images. And you mentioned new space. If you could share a little bit about what the facilities are like now.
When you come into Gateway Arts, you're greeted by our gallery, which we've expanded. And behind that is our store, which is a little smaller. We're now, we're dealing with professional artists, and we're really pushing our gallery and really stepping up to say, yes, we are a real gallery, we are real artists. We are promoting our online sales more, and we always are pushing our artists to get out in mainstream art world. We have 2 studios on the first floor as well. We also have space, as you see, on the 4th floor, where we have 6 facilitators working with artists in the space, and our offices are upstairs as well. Beautiful light-filled space.
Nice. And you mentioned the gallery. How often do you have different showings?
We usually have 6 shows a year on site. We also have shows off-site when possible.
Nice. And a little bit about what's offered in the store and how that operates, and what's the arrangement between Gateway Arts and the artists themselves?
The artists themselves, our artists are professional artists. They come to Gateway, they make the artwork, be it weaving, jewelry, drawings, paintings, cards, fiber works, sculptures, anything they anything we can do to help them create what they want to create. And then the works come down to our store and gallery and online and other venues. Our artists get 50% of sales.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, thank you for that overview. Isa, welcome. Could you share a little bit about the different programs that are available for the artist at Gateway?
Yes, absolutely. Um, so some of our facilitators sort of have different specialties, NACs. So there's a lot of different opportunities for somebody to explore the different mediums, right? So I would say, in large part, a lot of people are familiar with two-dimensional work, so painting and drawing practices. Um, we have those of us who, specialize more in fiber arts. So that could be sort of seen as its own separate program. Um, a lot of facilitators running their studios are pretty multifaceted, right? So there's a lot of liberty in what people can do, but maybe more exploration in one place than another in any particular medium. So what is it, 7 or 8 studios that are here,
Wow.
uh, sort of operate more or less the same, or it's all quite independent, and then people are, guided through their own practices. And there, along with that, we have the community engagement studio. So it's a dedicated program for Gateway artists to be connected to the broader community of Boston and Massachusetts arts community. And so that's as it sounds like, engaging with the community, going on a lot of trips. Right now, we're collaborating with Puppet Showplace Theater, which is right next door. They're doing a puppet workshop, so some of the artists are being led by one of the instructors there on how to create their own puppets. So there's a lot of programs like that, collaboration with the pottery studio next door, Feet of Clay, which is really exciting, and I think a really big part of this move and a positive change that's happened in the last few years. We used to have this program running, and then COVID kind of disrupted that for a little while. So now it's back and going, and people are exploring that, along with digital photography and more technical media, which is obviously larger now. We have a lot of younger people coming in who have a knack for the digital art. So that's kind of it's a tough thing to explore, I think, when the program is so used to kicking it old school, but it's exciting, yeah.
How does Gateway go about fostering inclusion and belonging for the artist?
I would say a huge part of that is encouraging independence, self-determination, opportunities for peer learning and vitality. So people really having a huge say in how their day is, what they're doing, a sense of autonomy in their practice, I think is really significant and gives people a lot of a huge sense of belonging, as if they're, helping to run the space themselves, right? So that's huge for me. It's not a classroom setting where there's one person at the head. That's not how I see, my role in it. So everyone just kind of running things collectively.
Terrific, terrific. And now we have the opportunity to hear from Colleen and Donna about their experiences. Colleen, would you start and maybe start by saying, sharing a little bit about how you first became involved with Gateway?
Well, this year is my 10-year anniversary of when
Wow.
I first joined Gateway. So, and unfortunately, I didn't get a cake. So, or celebration of any kind. But 10 years ago, I was asked I had services from DDS, and I always knew I wanted to have a career in the arts, but just getting your foot in the door is a little tricky when you have a disability. So, yeah, I think my DES coordinator said, there's this place called Gateway Arts. Do you want to go there? And I'm like, yeah, sure. You can do art and possibly get paid for it.
Now it's fabulous. And what do you like most at Gateway?
The fact that I have the free, nobody really tells me what to do at Gateway. It's, as Ethan said, it's not like a classroom. It's not like school. I mean, it's very, I would say if it's like any school system, it's like a sort of Montessori school
Mm,
because
mm.
you you control what goes on. Like for instance, look, I was just before we logged in, I was working on this isn't art per se, but it's organization for my art. Like I was working on, because I have, when I do paintings, I have like all these reference photos that I keep in binders. They cover about 4 or 5 binders, but yeah, I was organizing that. Yeah, I keep
Fabulous.
it in chronological order, so it's a little tricky to organize pic like
Well,
pictures in chronological order, but yeah, it's taken. But yeah, I was making progress. I almost wish I didn't have to do this meeting just because I was on a roll with my organizing. Sorry, but
understand. And we're fortunate, though, to have some of your work to share a bit and
I didn't
really
mean
want
it.
to.
I didn't want to do this meeting. It's just, it's just.
We understand. I mean, you've got some great projects, and this is just fabulous. Can you share how you came up with Weena the Therapy Sheep? This is just terrific, this book you've put together.
Really, it really started out as because I have 2 nieces. Well, I have 3 nieces now. But back then I had 2 nieces, and this was during COVID, and I came up with it during the holidays, and I thought, it'd be nice to make a story for them. So I worked on it for a while, and then this is really, I mean, I have some other projects I'm working on in the meantime, but yeah, I came up with a sheep essentially because I thought, yeah, there's lots of stories about dogs and horses and pigs, but nobody really writes stories about sheep as their main characters. So I thought, yeah, they're kind of misunderstood. People think that they just follow the herd, but actually they're actually incredibly emotionally intelligent, and they also yeah, they're actually pretty smart. Sheep are pretty smart, more smarter than we think they are.
Understand. Can you share a little bit about how you went about developing the book? Did you have everything planned out beforehand? Did you just jump right in and things developed? How'd you go about doing the whole project?
Um, I just it's funny with my writing. When writing stories, sometimes the writing comes first or the images come first.
Hmm.
With this I have a big novel I'm working on. In that case, the images came first, and I just fit a story to it. But in this case, the writing came first. I think for my children's books, generally the writing comes first.
That's terrific. And say these illustrations, how do you go about planning them?
Well, they're basically line drawings at first, and then when I drew my any of my line drawings, they sometimes look funny because I have these lines where they look like they shouldn't be, but that's because it's shading. Like for instance, it indicates where the shading's gonna go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see I don't know if you can see the darker points.
Yes. Uh-huh.
That's the shadows.
Nice, nice. And we want to hear a few words about another book of yours. Could you hear about the retelling of Beauty and the Beast?
Well, that kind of came about. I wasn't going to make this into a book, but this came about because I like walking sticks. I collect walking sticks, and
Ah.
I originally had an idea of drawing images of a story on a walking stick,
Mm,
and then having a story attached to it. It still,
nice.
yeah, it apparently didn't take off, but I thought it would, but it didn't. But you know what? I think I got enough of a response from the illustrations themselves that I thought, this is too good. I felt it was too good to just stay on a stick.
It's hard to walk and read at the same time.
Yeah.
Ah,
They were on these like index cards. The story was on index cards, and you just had to look at the stick. But yeah.
well, I
Yeah.
really like the colors that you've put into the illustrations here.
Uh-huh.
Really stand out.
Uh-huh.
It's fabulous.
Uh-huh.
And in addition to writing, you work in some other mediums as well. And
Oh
here,
yeah, sculpting.
Pisces.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that was the class that Issa was saying that had to be shut down during COVID because the reason was because we were eating in the pottery studio, and you can't eat in a pottery studio because of the toxic nature of the particles. Yeah, but I got a chance to do pottery again a few months ago. Yeah.
These are great. These are great. Well,
Uh-huh.
fabulous. One final question. How has Gateway helped you develop as an artist over the 10 years?
Well, I guess it's helped me to it's given me a develop it, shoot I guess it's it made me realize that I like to tell stories through my art. Yeah.
Wonderful.
It's funny because even as a kid, I like to tell stories, but as I got older, I stopped doing that. But an adult, I get to sort of reawaken what I
Well,
was doing as a kid or what I thought. Because I remember looking at my fifth grade yearbook and it said I wanted to be an author. But
well, we're definitely glad that you've resumed it and really appreciate you sharing today. Donna, want to welcome you
Hi.
and start off by asking you how you first became involved with Gateway Arts.
I started in 2001. Um,
Mm,
I visited a program, but it only had like two options. It didn't have like a lot of options. And this was in, I think it was in Dedham Plaza. Was it
mhm.
like a program, but only had like two options, like cooking and beating bags. And Westbury didn't have a lot of options, so I picked Gateway because it has more. They do painting and drawing. And they only had like two cooking, like I said, I don't want to go there, so I came here and I saw, visit Ted, the first time I met Ted. Um, and Ray and Stephen, I met them. They were the first case managers that were here when out at the old Gateway. So of course they retired. So now I have Greg and Nick. So I started by actually my father influenced me and my family because they like to, they were like very autistic. So my mother loved to poetry. She was like she loved poetry, and I have a brother that's a cook, chef. So, and my father was very mechanical. He would fix old televisions, and so it's like in the family. So I came in,
Wonderful.
like doing art. I love drawing. I used to draw at home, and
Well, Donna, we're fortunate to have some wonderful examples of your work. So let's take a look and maybe you can share a little bit about what you have here. I think you call this one Our True Colors.
yeah, there was I think that was like a show that I think Mark put that on, that people would use um two colors. You could be paint or pencils, and so some people would do designs or flowers, whatever with just two colors, so it would show out. So that was part. I think that was part of a show he had on, and he put like the Bonnie show, where you'd have us do like paintings of people, or um like people or famous people. It would be um like I did one with Lady Gaga. It was like a show, Bonnie show,
Ah,
like it would. So they would put that on me. He wanted me to do something with two colors. So I made birds. I saw like a book with two colors, and I just added flowers and the birds because they were green. I used green.
fabulous. We're going
So
to
background, yeah, it's really,
look
really
at
cool.
this other one, Hope Springs Eternal.
Yeah, it's like I guess it's like a spring, late spring one. Like animals, he wanted us to do, like we do like winter, fall, summer painting. So I picked the cat out. He had two pictures of cats, so I picked this
Mm,
one out.
really looks really like the way you developed the face and the different colors. Really nice, really nice. And
Yeah, thank you.
another great drawing. Speaking of seasons, I think this is fall drawing.
Yeah, it was a fox, and he had like a picture of a fox. Some would do like cards, and this was like a drawing, I guess, like a painting.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
he
And
has like
what
these pictures, like photographs, and he has this drawing, like whatever we wanted to draw. So I did like a
and they,
fox season. So
that's great. And we can see in these next few, first, another fabulous drawing here, but I want to be sure to get to the other areas because you do many more things at Gateway besides just drawing. You do needlepoint here. This is fabulous.
yeah, I do that in Leah's class, so studio. So yeah,
Wonderful. Just again, the colors are terrific. Terrific.
thank you.
And another medium here working in collage.
Yeah, there was I think folk art. I used to have that with Bill too. So I do like collages and make uh
What?
things with grapes.
Sculpture.
Yeah, we did a thing with grapes. I think it was taste, hear, see, like in the studio
Terrific.
downstairs. Yeah.
Right, we had the artist decided what kind of show would be in our gallery, and Donna was one of the curators actually. And one thing the artist did was do an installation,
Yeah,
and I let the artist borrow my rubber grape collection.
Ah, great, great.
yeah, look like Italy with
And how about
the
the sculpture here? Could you just briefly say what we're seeing?
yeah, like had these, you know, uh, leaves with the flowers, and I put it like a little fence around it. So it's like, he has these little knickknacks, so I fix them up, and yeah, make a little
Nice.
fence around a little great, tree. Supposed to be like a tree, I think. Like,
And how did you enhance this piece here, Robot Girl?
I think, well, Bill saves these, I guess, some old houses or whatever, like, um, There's a doll, I think it was, what was that thing, the topic, yeah,
Well, that's a corkscrew and some pearls, and the bottom part is used to hold the arm.
yeah,
So I would have bins full of found objects that I would bring in and offer them to artists. And I would say that sure, all of us draw when we're young and maybe paint and other things, but not too many people really experiment with sculptures in this
No.
fashion. So I would try it out with artists and see if it would work out well or not. And Donna did great with them. Donna did a
yeah,
great job.
I have fun with it.
That's terrific. That's terrific. Well, thank you so much for sharing your work. Bill, as you and others look ahead, what are some of the opportunities or plans you have in mind for Gateway in the coming year or few years to come?
The first thing that comes to mind is we really need our artists to get more exposure, get out in the art world more, get more into group shows that aren't just at Gateway, but in other galleries and venues around the country and world, really. Seen and heard more all the
Great.
time.
And Isa, what do you hope visitors and supporters take away when they experience Gateway Arts, especially for the first time?
Hmm. I hope they see the value in it. The work, the nature of a lot of the work tends to be different than what you would see in mainstream galleries and in the art world. And it's so dynamic, and I really hope people sense that when they look at it visually and just support the mission and understand it.
That's terrific. That's terrific. Well, unfortunately, we've come to the end of the program. I want to thank all of you for taking the time to be here. Fascinating to hear how Gateway Arts has developed over the years. Eager to visit sometime soon and see the new facility, which I haven't had the opportunity to do yet, and to look at the work on display. Colleen and Donna, continued success with your future efforts and really enjoyed you sharing today. Thanks to all of you and
Thank you.
continued success with future endeavors.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, yeah.
Also want to thank those of you watching for joining and hope you'll be able to tune in next time.